Did you notice how different it feels? We're going to go through one of the most intense emotional washovers of of our existential reality, as far as I'm concerned, me as being old as I am. It's because Neptune in Pisces, and then the opposition, well, the Sun will be opposing Saturn, and Saturn is in Pisces. Well, see, we would hardly notice about Pisces at all unless there was a Saturn to go through there and kind of smack it around and say, who are you? But it's weird because Pisces is the one that asks that. It's the one that's so foggy, and it's working with all of the mediums, which is water, the main medium of all mediums. The psychic energy and everything is conducting through that, and that's Pisces, is um, very misunderstood, and so they themselves are having a hard time, but they're very versatile because, well, it's the ocean of all of existence right there. All of them, I mean, really, with evolutionary astrology, all of the signs are poured into Pisces, which is the ocean. But what we're really talking about, what I'm being downloaded about it, to clarify to people, and really I'm going to start inserting what I'm understanding. By the time Pluto gets into Aquarius, I will be able to insert what I'm understanding about what the metaphor of astrology really is when they start talking about, well, Pisces rules the ocean, and Aquarius rules the air. It rules the upper intellect of all mankind. It's the technological mainframe. Uh, what I'm saying is it elevates, and it's saying this is the way creation of creation is happening. As far as the science that Aquarius points at, aqua, us. I also found with the English alphabet, and is a way to look into, well, it's mainly useful for holding on to the human intellectual property. Can you hear me? I wanted to make this video about something. The Pisces full moon coming up, I wanted to talk about. We are, if you haven't felt it already, it is kind of, we're moving into this thing. Okay, so Mars hitting, we have Mars opposing Neptune, which is definitely still in the air. It's a very dreamy time. But Mars opposing Neptune can go either way. That's the polarity of the opposition. There's a good and a bad side to each and everything, and the signs are included. So it's just a metaphor in any way to how to understand it. What's going on for humanity is having to deal with emotions in order to bust through. But that's not the big thing. The big thing is to see uh, the uh, the depths of our own selves. I guess that's what it is. I mean, Pisces is getting really, really deep. It's the ocean, and so what I just had gotten back to in my mind is like, and notice how it disappears. It gets dark, and it gets so unknown. We don't know hardly, but like, what's the percentage of how much of the ocean that we really know? Is very little. Or what is it? Like, who has really sailed enough and to find what's there and what's holding up a map and telling us, well, yeah, in fact, this is it. You know what I mean? And who believes any of that? My God! A fucking picture! How intricate can you get it? And then how fucking intricate can the technologies get to tell us how intricate they get, can serve the bullshit up, say, satellites are doing this with that, and it's like, yeah, sure. No, I'm not saying that we're not looking at something. We haven't done something. We haven't said we have done something. Maybe we're just looking at books and television sets and being told to us. Do you realize how faulty that really is? How fucking flaky? How absolutely it just. We're looking at decomposed granite. It's not even ready to. We have to figure out what you want to make your foundation on one of these days. Getting back to the fact of our reality, that maybe it's really like that. Ah! But how do we really get to that point of seeing creation as it really is, which is like this infinite, like it is like the water. It's like, do you mean the more that you try to, let's say, if you want to control it and say, I'm going to do something, when it's like, it's going to start going nuts, and it's like, well, what's wrong with it? Well, stop it. And you're going to try and stop it, and it keeps going and going. It's like, what do I do? You're like, stop. Just get away from it and look at it and just watch its nature, because that might be the very nature of reality. Right now is a big talk that I'm going to get very I just, you know what, I am getting staunch about it. Social media is way behind as far as, well, I do hear people just, it's coming up the strangest talk and poetry, and it's great, and keep it coming. Talk about the shift that we are in now. Babes, the stuff that's going on, I don't want to talk about the bummer of the global war, like, how that, whatever, see, oh God, I hate to talk about this. I talked about it in my other film, and I said I hated it, and how many times I'm going to talk about that. I don't say hate much, but I've gotten used to it. You just say, oh, whatever. Hate, whatever that you feel that maybe you could do a better job over there, as far as, oh, see, what I keep breaking through is that, if you are somebody who isn't relying on the fake world, which none of us are free from. Um, it's a big watch now. Got your watch. See you. How you do? How do you do? It's a war, and they need that kind of um, ability to tally in what exactly happens to each and every person, because why? Just an experiment. And when they just keep perfecting their methods and of ways of doing things, and we see that so astonishingly quick happening. It's just quickening is what I mean in its nature of being able to just go to the next level or step. And the main thing is, and who knows what I'm talking about right now, but the main thing is to control the ability to know, the media. Um, they are there, if you can imagine, on a worldwide scale, to talk about, like, I don't even know what Channel 4 or Channel 7 or Channel 11 or Channel 9. It'd be interesting to look at. I just do not look at it. I listen to people and get an intuitive, like, I listen to, I just get to, okay, now we're coming on to presidential elections, which, on social media, that's also being monitored. as well as how I do it, you look at it and it's like, okay, so this person um, has a long way to go if if they're playing that game. So I don't want to talk about that either. I already talked about that one in the video too. So, but what I was trying to say, not much. Talk is cheap. But if you haven't heard something said that is like stirring in your heart, really your heart needs to be awakened. And a lot of times words will help us. That's one of the things. It's like, well, what? The big thing about words is like, well, you have to get near an experience of the heart. And you're not creating a diddly darn thing there. It's really what you're doing is remembering. And so the way that you communicate, um, the simplest experiences, it would be to other human beings who now the thing that came into my mind, like, well, why would you want to have this conversation? It's because you are experiencing deception. There's a lot of lost people. They are like this, man. Their eyes are rolled into the back of their head, and they are looking. They have you stuffed in there, and they are dealing with a version of that. We've talked about that. That is a serious problem. It is. It's horrific because the human organism is set up to just want to be accepted, and they start mirroring. Well, they want to be accepted, so they will start. Yeah, it's like, well, who do you want me to be? And that person who has snapshot and their eyes are rolled in the back of the head, and you are a version of something that they can only carry in their head. And they're not giving it time. The truth is it takes 2.5 years to see. Not only if you have a friend there, that's when you begin to notice, oh, this person just keeps showing up. Give it another 2.5 years to see if you really have a good marriage partner. If you're looking for that kind of whatever life teammate situation you get together and you think you're going to spend time, you're just going to have to spend the time. Narcissist is like 2 weeks and they claim they had a relationship going on. It's like, well, how long? How long? And you go through the seasons, and so you have to go through it twice because there's the faked version, and everybody's excited, and then there's the real version of, oh shit, I can't even maintain that. Actually, is there something you can be concerned about? Really, about me and you, and it's coming now like this, and you'd be surprised that you probably have somebody actually there for you. It happens, but boy, it doesn't happen every day. And you can't be picky about whatever God's serving you up to slap your ass into the person that you really are and that you want to be. And anyway, that's one subject matter. Let's get back to the fascinating subject matter of well, what's happening in the universe here, expanding and contracting beings. The whatever is here, non-human, whatever, from one household to the next, a bird, a cat, a dog, they're all on their level of just trying to get better um, at whatever they do, and that includes. I just flashed on the demonic person over there, the woman with the 17 truckloads of shit that she can't seem to get rid of. The more that her life starts complicating into having to reduce things down, she won't. And then really, there's a big problem with hoarding if you look into those videos I've made. But anyway, the narcissist that will get everybody, they just get a flying swarm of people concerned for them around them to serve, and it's just a big time-filling scene. Where after a while, I mean, if you get close to them, like you want to help them, like, oh, you want to move in, you want to get that close, they aren't at all an organizer. They are so far from organizing. It doesn't make sense. You know, it's like, oh, you're just tumbling into a wreck. Most likely because you went down a little bit and leave it to money to do that for us. It's like, well, I gotta make money somehow, and it's like, well, what do you want to do to make a few dollars? You want to tag on to a money making narcissist. Holy shit, babe! That's who. If you look at Sam Vaknin's videos, and I'm about to wrap this up and post it in December 6th. uh, if you look at what Sam Vaknin says, he's saying that narcissists. Am I going to be able to remember what I was trying to say? Do you know where I was heading? With the Pisces moon, full moon coming up, don't be afraid to be as creative as, okay, let's just say that Darwin was was found the truth that when you mix enough stuff together and it's just mud, it's eventually you're going to get a shape out of it. This life is going to crawl out of it, and it's going to form and crawl up onto land and say, I came out of this fucking swarming fucking absolute, like it's a painter with paints on it, and they're like, but more like a child that you think this thing doesn't know what it's doing, and it's like, nah, and it's like, it's a cartoon land, and all of a sudden that's the life we live. Yes, that's precisely how it got here. How? Through Pisces, water. It's science. It's not literal at all.